Hello and welcome. So today we are going to start creating our vector desert landscape. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to start by opening up a new tab in our browser. We're going to then go to vectr.com. Okay, vectr.com. Okay, it's going to redirect you. When you get here, you're going to click on the login button. Let me go back. Mine has my name there, but it will say log in. You'll click log in with your Google. It'll redirect you to your Google account. You'll click on your Google account and it'll take you right in. This area here will most likely be blank, or you may see a button that says new artwork. So we're going to create a piece of new artwork. So we're going to click on new artwork. When we get into new artwork, we are going to first go over to the right side of the screen and we're going to put in our file name. So our last name, space, our last name, comma, space, first name, space, hyphen, space, and then the name of the project, which is our program, Vectr, hyphen, space, hyphen, and then the name of the actual lesson, which is Desert Landscape. Okay. And after we have that file name in, we're going to adjust the size. When we adjust the size, the first thing we always need to do is first adjust our unit of measure. So we're going to change this from pixels to inches, and then we will adjust our numbers. So we're going to make this 11. Notice when I changed our width to 11, it also changed the height. That's because this little lock here in the center is locked. We're going to click on that lock to unlock it. That is a proportion thing. So we're unlocking that. We're going to make our height 8.5. This is the standard piece of paper size that we're using here. And with Vectr, it's scalable, right? So we can make it really any size, but it's a decent size to start to work on. So we'll go ahead and put those items in there. And then when you're done with that, you're going to hit the create button in the bottom right-hand corner. It's going to create a document here. Now, I like to, on my laptop, pinch out just a little bit so that I can see the entire thing. The other thing that you can do is if you hold the space bar, it gives you your hand tool, and I can reposition that canvas so that I can see all the way around it. Okay, something like that. A lot of keyboard shortcuts are universal and will work in programs. The space bar is one of those. So after we do that, we can also zoom in and out without using the pinching method on our trackpad on our keyboard, but down here in the lower right-hand corner, we can zoom in and out as well with our percentage of zoom. Okay. You can also tell it to fit to window. You can see I can see just a little bit all the way around it, which is just fine. So I'm going to go just out just a bit from there so I can see the very edge. I like a little bit of space around what I'm working on. After we have our canvas created, we're going to start today by adding in a background. And we're going to do this, it's going to be a desert landscape. Now you can choose this to be a nighttime scene or a daytime scene. I'm going to go with a daytime scene, almost like a sunrise in my composition. So we're going to start by going over here on the left side, our toolbar. Okay, you can see there are very few tools. It's a very simplified program. I'm going to click on my shapes. I'm going to choose a square, and then I'll hit the X button. And I'm going to then click and drag to draw this square. Now, unfortunately, it is a square unless you hit the Shift button. So hold the Shift button, and you can make it a rectangle and allow it to fill that space. Okay. By default, it fills with some color. This could be the last color you used or their starting color. Mine, for this example, is this blue. So what I'm going to do to change this fill color is I'm going to go over here to the fills. Notice how when I have this selected, nothing selected, no tools over here. The object is selected. Now I have related tools. So I'm going to click on the fill here. I have the check, so it is filling. If I unchecked it, it would be transparent or clear. And I'm going to click on the color, and it will bring up a color picker for me. So I can pick a color here. So if I want a desert landscape, maybe I want to start with some kind of orange, something like that. And that's fine, and that's just fine. But maybe we want a little bit more detail in this instead of being one solid color. So if I click on the word color, I can go down to either a linear gradient or I can go to a radial gradient. Okay, it gives you an example of both of those. With my idea of a sunset, I'm going to go with a radial gradient, and I'm going to click on my fill color. When I do so, I get this circle that helps me figure out where the gradient is. I can click on the first dot and I can move this up a little bit on my composition. I can also click on this side and shrink down that gradient. So I think I'm going to go with something like that for my gradient, maybe just a little bit bigger. Oops. That tool back again. Try one more time. And pull onto this side so that it's not over there bugging me. So I'm going to start at something like that. Now with this dot selected on my radial gradient, I can come over and I can choose a color for that dot. So I can change that. I really like the orange that I had originally. Maybe I'll do something like that. And then I can come into the middle dot and I can change its color. And I can come into the very center and change its color as well. And I want it to be green. That middle one is a little too green for my liking, so I'm going to try to bring this back just a little bit. And then I can also adjust how much of that spread I'm seeing. So I think I'm happy with that. So you can play around with that, and you can always come back to this as you are designing and change things. But again, my suggestion is, actually, I want to flip this. I want to go, well, there it reset. I'm going to go darker in the middle, I think. And I'm going to zoom out a second because I can't get that tool when it's behind my color picker. So darker, and then I'm going to go, let me switch this. One of the other things you can do is if you do like a color, you can come in with the color picker and pick it up. So I'm going to go light in the very center. I think my second one is going to be my darker orange. Maybe. Eh. But this is what you're going to do today. You're going to play around with the colors for your background. And then my outside color is going to be my lighter value. Okay, so I'm going to continue to play around with this. When you are done, let's see. I think I like that. When you are done and you are happy with your design and your background color, we're going to go ahead and save this document. So we're going to go over here to the top right. This is a little bit more difficult to find than the other programs. Typically we're in the top left, but here we're going to be in the top right. And the second item in here is an export. So we're going to hit export. We're going to change our type to a PNG. And everything else you can leave the same. And we're going to hit download. That's going to put that in your downloads folder with the file name that we put on it originally. So you can move that into your art folder. Okay. After that, we're also going to download this as a vector. Now, Vectr is specific to this program, so I'm going to hit download. So it will not open in other programs. You would have to come into Vectr and open that program. So I've got 2 files there as backups for what we're going to need. The other thing that I need to do is I need to take a screenshot of my progress for the day. So I'll quickly take a screenshot of what I have here. Lovely. And I have that then to submit. That's all for today. If you have any concerns or any questions, please reach out and let me know.